Let us get in early. I think we could be going live now, Diane. So I think everybody, I could be live. Good evening, happy Halloween. No tricks, just treats tonight. Lol. Hashtag replay, hashtag live if you're watching this live, hashtag if you're watching on replay. Tonight we're going to be discussing Diane's journey with Momentum NRG and the reverse diet method. So Diane's journey with the Momentum NRG isn't about a quick fix, it's about permanently breaking the diet cycle and truly taking back control of our health again, rather than losing and regaining the same 5 to 10 pounds. And that she does it fat. I'm calling it Fat Watchers, Diane. I think between both of us, we can call it Fat Watchers. Diane is now over 30 pounds down, actually 35 pounds, Diane, to be precise, isn't it? Yes, can you hear me, Diane? Oh, have I lost Diane, have I? Oh no, I've lost Diane. There we go. Oh well, I think I'm still live. I've lost Diane. So I'll just wait till she dials back in again. So we're going to be discussing with Diane. That's great. I love it when that happens. So hashtag replay, hashtag live. She's over 35 pounds down and she's kept it off for nearly a year now. So it's been a whole year that she's transformed her life and she's ready to stop the diet. Are you ready to stop this? That's fine. We're back, Diane. Woo!
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that.
We're on a timer here. This live is only going to be 15 minutes long. I haven't even started it. That's 15 minutes starting now, Diane. So, yeah, for those watching tonight, this live is going to take no more than 50 minutes of your time. So, are you ready to stop the diet in Circus? In Diane's words, she's been back on the same plan 5 times. She's been back on the same plan 5 times by now. This isn't just another short-term fix, it's about real lasting change. So what's in it for you? So if you stay tuned in for the next 15 minutes, you're going to learn how Diane reversed years of diet and damage with a plan that actually lasts. She'll share with you how she sailed through Christmas last year and holidays without piling on the pounds, and why she no longer dreads going on the scales as well. In fact, our approach goes beyond just weight loss, but it's to build a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. So forget the diet clubs that thrive on repeat business, not on long-term success. Diane's story is proof that real sustainable weight loss is possible. And it is possible to escape that diet. And I think that's all too often in the diet industry. Like slimming clubs, I was saying this on a live rant I've done today. Slimming clubs they're not talking about you being healthy. They just focus on being slim. We want to get you healthy. If you get healthy, you get slim. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Diane. That was a bit of a tongue twister there. I went a bit long there with that introduction, Diane. Diane, tell me about what you were struggling with before starting last year.
What was I struggling with? Basically, a lifetime of yo-yo dieting is what I was struggling with. And I mean, for the past, well, I've been with you a year now, and I'm 2.5 stone down, and I've kept it off. And that's the first time ever I've ever been able to, keep the weight off. So bear with me. Sorry, just trying to get sorted here. It's the first time ever I've actually managed to keep the weight off. I mean, slimming clubs, I mean, they just set you up for failure, to be honest, because you go there, you take the weight off, but then, you put it back on again, and then you put it back on again, you go back. I mean, the slimming club would say, "Oh, it's you, Diane. You've been here before, haven't you?" I said, "Yeah, I've been here lots of times." So, I mean, basically, it's just to say this diet plan, Daniel's. I mean, with your guidance and your help, Daniel, I've managed to eat better. I'm free. Like, I've no more ties. No more hang-ups with dieting. No more. Stresses, because being overweight just controls your whole life. Basically, it just, gosh, hold on, I'm trying to get connection here.
I can see that.
It's terrible, right? I mean, because it affects your mood, your confidence, social events that you have to go to, things like that, That's it. Sorry about that, folks.
That's all right. We're calm. It's just like we're having a weekly check-in, Diane. We normally just have a laugh anyway when we have our weekly check-ins anyway. Great. So what were you struggling with then in terms of before then? Like you were talking about kind of how you were feeling, moods, like what were you struggling with before starting last year?
Struggling last year, basically, getting motivated and getting, you know, like something different, somebody that would help me understand why I'm going the hamster wheel, the yo-yo diet, and, you know, like putting it on, taking it off, I just wanted a wee bit of help understanding where I was going wrong. I mean, you put together what, you know, like no processed food, because with the dieting clubs, you're allowed to have cider, you're allowed to have all your sweets, your chocolates, all the stuff, and pre-packed food, you know, like, so I've stopped doing all the processed food. And what a difference, you know, like, I'm full all the time, I'm happy, I'm enjoying my food, I've got no starvation issues, I'm not struggling to get to the next meal and the next piece of food, I'm not looking for, and I've not got it on my mind all the time, you know, like I can get on with the rest of my life because I'm not bothered about looking, you know, worrying about what I'm putting in my mouth, what I'm eating and what I'm not doing. So it's like no more diets, no more diet recipes, because the diet clubs just bombard you with recipes. I mean, I've learned how to cook again rather than relying on processed food, because I've got a busy life. I've got a, you know, the job and trying to juggle things. I used to just rely on pre-packed food and pre-dinners, etc. And now I don't. Now it's just as quick and just as easy just to make salads and, you know, like, and lots of veg, because I eat lots of veg, loads of fruit now. I go to the supermarket and all I buy is fruit, whereas before it would just be crisps and basically chocolate bars and, you know, like, oh, I'll treat myself tonight or whatever, things like that. So that's a whole year, and I've managed to get 2.5 stone off, and I've managed to do the keeping it, maintaining it as well, and still enjoying everything, you know, like eating food it's not a chore now. It's just it fits into my daily life, you know. And I don't know, it's no more binging either. There's no more, you know, like, oh, it's quiet tonight, I'm bored, let's get a big tubby of crisps out the, you know, the cupboard or anything like that. So there's no more of that. I just feel like I'm normal, for a better word, you know. So I mean, it's simple, it's good. There's no more starving, no more stress. You get on with the rest of your life, you enjoy food. I mean, my celiac has I've got celiac disease, which I said in my last podcast that we had, and I've got no more flare-ups, and I've got no more pain because I'm eating good food. Food it's good, really good for you, and understanding what is good food. And it's all with the help of you, Daniel. You know, like in that, I send over my diaries, you say, no, you can't have that, don't eat this, and don't eat huge amounts either. You don't need them. You don't need to sit down to a massive big meal, because that, I don't get stomach ache anymore with the celiac or the, you know, like the hernia I've got, because I'm eating little and often, and I'm eating good food. So
what you mentioned different, like, you know, you were looking for something different back then, and like you've been stuck in this cycle of yo-yo dieting pretty much for your whole entire life, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then you found this different path. So what was different about this approach to what you've done before?
I think it was the one-to-ones that we have. We have one-to-ones and we discuss everything, we talk everything through. You're not just on a conveyor belt. You're not, you know, like everyone talks about, I don't have to worry about, you told me how to not worry about calories, don't count points, you know, like what is really good for you. Don't like, a lot of diets are like all one food group, like you're either high protein or you're low fat, and or your calorie counting and your pound. You can't maintain it. You just cannot maintain it. You cannot keep it up. You just give up, And as soon as I used to give up, say I went out on a night out and had a meal, and I thought, oh, stuff it, I've broke the diet, so I'll just carry on eating cake. But you don't do that with the way that you've taught me to do things. You know, like you when I go for a meal, I pick the right things to eat, and I don't splurge. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. So you've ended the diets of the starve binge cycle. You mentioned starve binge earlier on there, and it's the diets that are causing you to have the cycle of you're starving and then you go to you binge. But what you've done is behavioural change. You've changed your habits, your behaviours.
Yeah.
And you've been educated, right? You know.
Well, that's exactly it. You've educated me how to eat properly. I think the fact that I'm no longer, I mean, it's changed my life. It has changed my life. It has, and it's changed the way I look at things. You know, like rather than going through misery, you know, like having, you know, like just, you know, in yourself that if you're going on a diet, you think, yeah, I've lost weight. Everybody comments, oh, you've lost weight and what have you. But you know that in a couple of months you're going to put the weight back on because you can't, like, it's trying to train yourself, trying to brain train yourself, you know, to think crooked. You know, like you've always got an excuse. You've always got an excuse. Oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. Oh, I'll wait till Christmas. I'll wait till they'll wait till that christening. I've got a dinner dance coming up. I'll wait till after. Everything's always an excuse. But with this, the way you've told, you don't need excuses. You just eat normal food and you stay the same. And you know, like the weight comes off and you don't, it's not the first thing you think of. It's just it's intertwined, for a better word, in your everyday life.
Yeah, lifestyle. So what would you say to people on the fence then that are maybe watching this tonight that, like, you know, want to reverse engineer out of years of yo-yo diet? And what would you say to those people that are watching tonight?
A lot of them, you know, like I've watched loads of people in my work do diets, and I'm thinking to myself, and they've lost weight, they've put it on or whatever. And if I say to them, you know, like eat unprocessed foods and stuff, people that are sitting on the fence are just, they've got to give it a go. They at least give it a go and give it a try. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people say, oh, you'll be hungry all the time, but you're not. You've got to look into what you're eating. You've got to understand it. And you give 50% fruit and veg. You do 17% protein. You do 33% protein and 17% carbs. Well, look into it. Look at what is carbs. Look at what you're talking about. And I mean, if I feel like I don't eat crisps anymore. I used to eat them by the ton. Now I eat nuts. So now if I'm thinking, if I'm feeling a little bit hungry, I'll have some cashew nuts or some almonds. Just give yourself, understand what you're talking about, listen to what you're saying, and then just give it a go. Because once it clicks in, you can understand it and you can go for it. Does that?
I love what you've said, Diane, there, like, you know, in terms of the understand. It goes back to that education. And by the way, brilliant, 50% fruit and veg, 70% of your energy dense carbs. I think it was 16%. You were 1% off there, but I'll let you off for that.
You know, like, I put all my fruit and veg at the top of the fridge now.
Same here. Yeah.
You know,
I got that one from you. I got that one from you, though, because for people watching, Diane's also learning as well. She's actually got some books. She's got some good books. Dr. Chatterjee, she's been reading him. He's pretty good as well. You know, I recommend reading books. I love reading books but the right books on healthy nutrition, not the ones that you mentioned earlier on, like the counting the calories, the points, the starvations, none of them are sustainable. That's the problem, is they're not sustainable.
Like I say, they just set you up for failure, because you will do them, but you'll fail. And because you're failing all the time, you think to yourself, oh God, can I go back there? Because I know that I'm going to fail. And, you know, like they're all going to look at me because I failed again and again and again, you know, like because you give up, because you can't maintain it. You can't live your life how they want you to do your diet, and you can't. It doesn't work into your everyday life. You just not do it. You can do it for so long, but you won't, like you say, you won't maintain it. But like I say, I put all my fruit, well, my fruit and veg at the top of the fridge. I put loads of fruit about. So if I'm looking, even if I'm hungry, or I think, oh, I'll have an apple, I'll have a banana, you know, like stuff is good for you. And it's, you know, like it's a great feeling going into the shops, and you know, like I can catch my reflection and think, oh, I'm not fat anymore. Oh, look, you know, like, and like I was saying to you before in our catch up, I have lost 10 inches off my stomach.
Wow.
Right? Off round my waist, because when you get older, when you get into your 60s like myself, I was saying women we lose the waist, you know, like because we've not got the same hormones as we used to have when we get round, and most of my weight was round my middle, and I've lost 10 inches off my waist, and I've lost weight off my legs, which I've never ever had before. I've actually got decent legs, and on holiday I was, you know, like wearing shorts, which I never would have done in a million years. Wow. So the whole body has changed because of the type of food I'm eating now, and everything's good, you know.
Awesome. Going back to the percentages of the food for people watching this, like that's not that complicated. Like we don't count anything, we don't add anything up. It's just like the majority of what we're eating. Like I've had chicken, sausage, and veg quite a few times today. Actually, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, you know, it's the plate was Diane was alluding to looks like this. I quite like drawing this plate, Diane, all the time. 50% of my diet's fruit and veg, and then this is my energy dense carb. Now energy dense carbs, that's 16%, and that's 50%. Now actual 66% of my diet is carbohydrates, carbs. So don't be afraid of carbs, because vegetables are carbs. They're the exact same type as bread, potatoes, and rice, and that's on the Eat Well plate behind me here as well. That's on the NHS Eat Well plate. But what we do is we watch the amount of energy dense carbs we're consuming. So we don't cut out carbs though, because these are carbs. They're all complex carbs. When people say cutting out carbs, it annoys me. Like, I'm going to cut out carbs. What you need to do is cut. There's two different types of carbs for people watching: simple and complex. Let me tell you, the complex ones are really, really good for you. They're really nutritional. They've got lots of vitamins, minerals. They're good for you. The ones that you want to be cutting out, the simple ones, because they're sugars. That's otherwise simple carbs are otherwise. And that's where people get some carbs. Like actually, 66% of Diane's diet is carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. But what she does watch is the amount of energy dense, like potatoes, breads, and rice, because they've got more. They're more calorific. Now we don't count calories. We don't. But I'm just making the point that they've got more energy in them, so we don't eat as much, and of course we control the portions, as Diane mentioned earlier on, and then you've got the rest of your proteins and your fats there as well. So it's not that complicated, but we don't count that. We just eat healthily. That's all we do, little and often. Diane sends her food diary to me every day. I hold her to account. But Diane's nailed it. She's got it now. She's absolutely crushed it. Yeah, and it's amazing. So any questions? Anybody got any questions? Because we did say we were only going to be 15 minutes on this live tonight. I hope you've got some value, that doing the same isn't going to change anything. So going back to that question for people on the fence there, get an education, learn, understand how to eat properly, ditch the yo-yo diets, or keep doing them and keep getting the same results, that never-ending cycle. My DMs are open if you want to talk to me. It might not be such a bad idea. I was saying that this morning, Diane, I done a live actually this morning, not the one leaving the health club. I done one this morning inside this group, and I was talking about how long should you wait before you see results. And it kills me. Like I chatted to a lady the other day. She'd been doing some diet club, not mentioning any names, but she'd been doing it and she'd been stuck for months and months and months, not losing any weight. And I'm like, if you're not losing weight, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're not following it. I expect to see results quite quickly, Diane, like instantly, right? Within 7 days, you should see results, solid proof that this is working. 2 to 3 pounds minimum, I'd expect to see in the first week. Again, of course, depends on one's start point as well. So don't wait. Like, you know, speaking to me might not be a bad idea. like Diane's done, and it's changed her life, and she doesn't have to yo-yo diet anymore. So it's awesome. Any questions, anybody? Let me have a look. Questions. No questions this evening. I don't think so. So we'll just. Have you got anything you'd like to add, Diane?
Well, I was looking back at my diaries and things that you sent me, and I sent you a year past. I think I lost a stone in the first month, and then it came off gradually. It does come off fast to start off with, and then it's £1, £2 a week, and then you go, and I like to go at the maintenance, you know, like, and stay there, and then, you know, like, start again. But I mean, I thoroughly recommend it for anybody. It's been like me and been yo-yo dieting for years, and, you know, like, not getting anywhere, and that usual manana, I'll start tomorrow, and, you know, it never comes, you know. And just go for it, give it a go. There's no harm. I mean, like I say, I mean, you're passionate about what you do, and you really are a good support. So
I think getting support is key. Like, get help. Like, you know, I work with coaches as well. A couple of questions here, Diane. We've got one. Alison Murphy, she's on the program just now. She'd love to actually have a chat with you, Diane. Her 28-year-old daughter has just been diagnosed celiac as well. So, and ABF hiatus hernia as well, and in a lot of pain as well. So she might like connect if that's all right with you, Diane.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's
awesome.
fine. I mean,
Brilliant, perfect. And is frozen fruit and veg okay? Yeah, absolutely. Frozen fruit and veg is okay. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated, Alison. Like, you know, yeah. I mean, I had fresh veg today, but then I've also the other day I had frozen veg. And I have frozen fruit as well. Absolutely, 100%. Sometimes you say that freezing it actually kind of maintains the nutrients inside the.
I mean, I have like, people give me funny looks at work when I go in with my breakfast, because I have like an egg salad for my breakfast. And I go, oh, why are you eating that? I says, well, it's good for you, you know, or I'll have an apple and an egg for my breakfast, you know, and then a banana later on, and then some prawn mayonnaise or something, you know, round about lunchtime or something. But always loads of fruit with me, always like a little bag of my cashews or my almonds or something. Always, you know, always keep something with you. Always make sure that you're prepared, you know, like, so that it's not rocket science.
That's just what I was about to say. I quite like you can buy wee boxes of fruit from from any supermarket nowadays, like the little boxes. You can buy packets of nuts and have things handy that are simple and easy. You know, I agree. This doesn't have to be complicated. Like, I like what you said about I've done a couple of rants on my Facebook page this week. I was talking about the myth of breakfasts as well.
Yeah.
So, and I really kind of went to town. I had an egg salad the other day, Diane, from my first eating point, because I don't do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think that's another thing we're brainwashed into doing, is eating on the clock as opposed to listening to what our bodies are telling us.
That's right. You know, like, I eat loads of fish, I eat loads of salmon, and you can grab this food just as easy as you can grab convenience food and processed food. You know?
I buy loads of. I just went to my shop the other day, and I buy loads of packets of salmon. You can just open up, and
that's right. That's what I get. Yeah.
You know, just easy thing. It doesn't have to be like, I even buy the wee salad boxes already done for me and everything as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know,
like, if you're making a dinner, one of the tips I got was, like, say you've got a chicken casserole, have that for your breakfast in the morning. Put some in a tub and have that, heat it up and have that for your breakfast. Is, you know, like, there's no.
I do it all the time. I have that all the time. First eating point, and I just made a big tray chicken, sausage, and veg today. It's my favourite, as people maybe know. And I think my family don't even eat it anymore because they're so fed up of me cooking it all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll have that in the morning. Yeah, I have roast chicken dinners in the morning, because what I do is a portion control it. So I was showing somebody my plate today. Actually, it's like a little bowl I use. It's tiny, and I just have little, and I can graze on that all day.
Yeah,
I can just, you know, even like if you were to make like going back to that whole cereal breakfast thing, like, stay away from the cereals that are.
I mean, cereals were just invented for vegetarians. Like, if you go back in the history of cereals and Kellogg's and stuff, they started that because people used to eat cooked breakfasts back in the day, and like vegetarians didn't have a lot of options because there wasn't a lot out there for them, and that's when they invented cereals like your cornflakes and your Rice Krispies, and you know, like I think that's where what do you call it, the oh gosh, you know, Vegemite or whatever came from as well.
I'll tell you what, you've certainly been doing some reading there, Diane. Like,
Well, why not?
Diane's become an expert now. That's it, you know.
Yeah, I'll be taking over from you soon.
But that's great. You've researched it and learnt about it. You're right. For me, the cereal things is we want you to eat breakfast, Mr. Nestle. I said that the other day, Mr. Kellogg's. Like in the diet industry are sucked in with it all because you've got like the healthy cereals, which by the way aren't healthy. You know.
I know they're not. No, they're just loaded with sugar. But I mean,
100%. 100%. Let's see if there's any more questions coming in. Then I think that's it for tonight. I think we'll wrap up because we're
okay.
over. We did say 15 minutes. I think we've done about 24 minutes. So thanks everybody for attending tonight. Great input as well. Great questions. Good to see a few people live. I can see a few lives as well tonight. So yeah, if there's any questions, reach out to me. If you're inside this free group as well, particularly, then reach out. I've got plenty free training resources in here to give you a better understanding and an education on how we do it and how we eat properly and how we balance our energy levels and how we get amazing results. So there's plenty of stuff there to get you started. Start writing down your food diaries. That's what I tell anybody. The sooner you start logging it, the sooner we can start changing it and improving it and control your portions. Diane, you've been a star as well. Thanks for coming back again, 6 months in, and maintaining and keep doing what you're doing.
6 months in, a year.
But I'm saying 6 months since our last live.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Right, sorry.
Six months in, since we last talked. You're back in, so appreciate you coming back in. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
Okay, bye.